When looking for the king of podcasts, you're at the wrong channel.
Well, excuse me!
Looking for good ideas for life? You're far from good hands.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
If you think the listener is always right, you're far from the right place.
Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works!
Hosted by a Northeasterner by birth, but a rebel by choice.
Are you threatening me?
If you want a host that floats between love and madness,
and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
then play on and listen to Crazy Train Radio.
All right, guys, listen to this blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try and keep up, okay?
Warning, creators of this game do understand the subject matter may be offensive to some, but they do honor the families and people that have been affected by these real-life tragedies that these individuals have caused. Want to play a game?
Oh, yeah!
Lover of true crime?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, we got an interesting game for you to check out.
Wow.
With the mashup of influences such as horror movies, collecting cards, and RPGs.
What?
Led to giving birth to an incredible creation of this game, Killers, the card game.
You are all my children now.
This game is a collectible trading card game featuring some of the most infamous killers, with tidbits of trivia on the back of each card to help you learn some insight to each criminal.
Who the hell are you?
Let's not forget, during the game, cops will be chasing you and these criminals.
I'm a cop, you idiot!
However, check out their website listed through all social media today, which can be found under Killers, the card game.
Am I on the internet?
I want to play a game.
Hey y'all, this is Shantell Ogden from Nashville, and you're listening to Crazy Train Radio.
Just because you climb the ladder to the top doesn't mean you stay there. A million people fighting for your place on stage.
Hey folks, it's your least favorite host in the podcast world, Croc, Jonathan Steele. And boy, do we have a good one for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this Nashville-based award-winning artist and songwriter has released a new country/Americana EP, Love All In, which is a 6-song collection that is now available to stream and download on all platforms worldwide. Let's welcome Shantell Ogden. Hi Shantell, how are you? And thank you for the time adjustment.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, I appreciate it. And we were just kind of joking about it, but you drive yourself a little bananas with the commitment it takes for everything. But I think I may have learned it a little bit from you osmosis wise, because you have a unique experience in terms of learning your work ethic from the family farm, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
and then going to an independent performing artist. So what was that like growing up in Utah and these little nuggets of knowledge?
Yeah, I think for me, so I didn't grow up with having a lot of creativity around me in my family. So everybody in my family was, working class folks. So the farm was what my dad and his family did. It started with my great grandpa. So there was a long history there of hard work, working the land and having cattle, having dairy cows. And then my mom, her family actually also had a business. They had a store. And so they had like a little general store in a small town. And so she grew up doing that. And then she became a school teacher. So she always was teaching when I was growing up. And so I just watched everybody around me was a hard worker. And that was just what it was. It's how you grow up in the country is you just see everybody, working hard to make a living. And that's how I grew up. And I had a job when I started at about 8 years old on our farm. I fed calves and I worked at our store when I grew up in high school. And that was just, I've always had a job. That was just the way it was. So, and then my grandpa, funnily enough, he was working into his 80s and, just, still going. So I think we start working early and we keep working and we work even when we get old in the country. So that's what
kind of store was it?
So we had dairy cows, but then we had a processing plant at a retail store where we sold our own ice cream and made our own ice cream. And we sold milk that we bottled there from our cows. So it was this little kind of vertical business where it was like from the cow to the person, the product goes right to the person. So that's how I grew up.
Nice. Well, you got the new little project called Love All In. What can you tell everybody about that?
So Love All In is my new EP. And I know that a lot of times these days artists are releasing singles. And I also at times have released singles. But for me, I wanted to have kind of a collection of songs that fit together. And I wanted to release this as a collection of songs. So it's a 6-song EP. And when I'm thinking about doing an EP, I always kind of think about a meal, right? Looking at it as a meal. So I have stuff that's kind of light and fun, like a dessert would be. And then I have stuff that's more sort of meaningful and hopefully touches people's hearts and is more kind of emotionally full, like a meat and potatoes kind of dish. So that's how the songs kind of ended up all on this project together, is just kind of looking at the songs that fit together and kind of created that emotional experience for people.
So let's go with Love All In. That would be Infused with Hope. Let You Go Easy is Brimming with Heartache. And Monday Morning Town is an honest look at the industry, obviously from hearing them. But before we get into all that, well, let's go ahead and insert Make a Cowgirl and Monday Morning Town for you to enjoy.
Take a wide open heart with a back row dream. Sprinkle in some get up and go and a front porch swing. Roots that run deep, raised upright. Family first, God loving, down home countrified. A whole lot of tough wrapped up in grace, easy to love and hard to break. Mix of stargazer, barrel racer, covered in denim and pearls. Ooh, that's how you make a cowgirl. shined up truck, revved up and ready to roll, and a red dirt song blaring on the radio. And drive for adventure neath the western sky, and a rowdy little rescue dog along for the ride. A whole lot of tough wrapped up in grace, easy to love and hard to break. Mix of stargazer, barrel racer, covered in denim and pearls. Ooh, that's how you make a cowgirl. Ooh, pinch of freedom, dash of hope. Love her if you wanna, but she won't care if you don't. No, she won't. A whole lot of tough wrapped up in grace, easy to love and hard to break. Mix of stargazer, barrel racer, covered in denim and pearls. Oh, that's how you make a cowgirl. How you make a cowgirl. How you make a cowgirl. How you make cowgirl. How you make a cowgirl. Just because you climb the ladder to the top doesn't mean you stay there. A million people fighting for your place on stage, 'cause they all wanna play there. No matter what you do to make them stay, golden moments always fade away. Everybody knows it, but no one says it. This town is a come and get it while you can, before you miss your chance. And even if you're one of the lucky few, it's out with the old and in with the new. It's hard to hold on to your weekend crowd in a Monday morning town. It's either everybody knows your name, or who the hell are you? The ride is faster than you think, from number one to yesterday's news. You're in with the in crowd, or you're not. Nobody wants to be someone the time forgot. Everybody knows it, but no one says it. This town is a come and get it while you can, before you miss your chance. Even if you're one of the lucky few, it's out with the old and in with the new. It's hard to hold on to your weekend crowd in a Monday morning town. Everybody knows it, but no one says it. This town is a come and get it while you can, before you miss your chance. And even if you're one of the lucky few, it's out with the old and in with the new. It's hard to hold on to your weekend crowd, but we love it so much we hang around in a Monday morning town. Monday morning town.
Thank you.
You know, I wanted to mention because obviously Monday Morning Town tackles an honest look for your perspective on the industry. And I found that interesting because apparently you've been spending 18 years in Nashville pursuing this. So, what was it like for you to put pen to paper or keyboard to word processor to, because obviously things have changed not only that way in how people write, but also trying to see and express what you've seen in those 18 years?
I think it was an idea that I had for a while that because in Nashville, I think in like a lot of places, it's kind of like we're always chasing the next new big thing. And it's not really what you did last week or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's about what have you done for me today? And so I think, again, that was a song I wrote with J4 and Corey Barker that we've all, especially Corey's been here about 20 years. So he's been here a little longer than I have. And I think for both of us, we've seen a lot in the music industry. We've seen a lot of artists come and go. We've seen a lot of songwriters who were writing hits 20 years ago, but now they can't even get any kind of respect or recognition, and they kind of get cast aside. And so I think we wanted to just paint that picture of what the music industry is really about, which is the next new thing. But also kind of be honest about what it feels like to be sort of someone who had made it and maybe gets overlooked now. And I think that also happens in corporate America too, as you get closer to retirement age, like you kind of raise up in the ranks in a company, and then you get to a certain point and it's kind of like, well, you've gone as far as you can go, and there's new ideas and new people coming up behind you. So that's really part of the story as well. And I just feel like at the end of the day, like we stay because we love it. We love making music. We love writing songs. That's really what keeps you here. It's not necessarily being on the top of the ladder. There are people who are on the top of the ladder, but it's more about just doing it because you love it.
And some of that I'm seeing within in my own family structure, because these people are at a crossroad of their life that you may have mentioned there, and I won't dive into that. But obviously gotten airplay on hundreds of stations, both country and Americana, locally and internationally, and actually had a number 2 slot behind Chris Stapleton in Blossom in the Dust. So what is that like for you to not only have the airplay, but something rises that close to the top for you personally? Because everybody experiences that differently.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I mean, I was actually just talking with one of my dear friends today that I've written a lot with, and I've written some of the songs on this EP. My friend Bill DeLuigi, and we were talking about we moved to town about the same time in 2005. And it takes really years to kind of get to the point that you have something going in your career. And I've done, some work in film TV, and he's had a bunch of independent artist cuts. And you kind of realize that I think you have to sort of just take the journey as it comes. You're glad for the moments where you get recognition or you get you get kind of something that happens that pays well or does well, but then you also realize like tomorrow might be a different story. So I think you kind of have to just see the successes as they come as part of the journey. And you're grateful for those moments, you celebrate those moments, and you don't sort of get so attached that that becomes all your worth, because it's too much and there's too many other factors that go into it. So I think you have to keep your head on straight in that way.
So you've been around the block nationally in the UK, Ireland, all over the place. So is there a particular place that you've really enjoyed visiting that music has taken you?
I think England's the most obvious one. I've gone to England probably 7 times now to tour over there. And the reason I keep going back is because they are so open to independent artists, and they'll play on the radio a song from, Carrie Underwood and then a song from Shantell Ogden. If they like your music, they'll play it. And that's a really unique thing about that market in England. And they'll also come to your shows. I mean, I was just there last week, and I had a gentleman that drove 50 miles, on his motorbike in the rain to see me play at a venue on a Thursday night. And that kind of commitment, because they know you're traveling to get to them, they're willing to travel to get to you. And that's something that I really appreciate about the audiences there, is they're very committed and they want to know you as a person, and as an artist as well. So I think that's one of the places that my music career has taken me, that I've been really grateful to be able to do that.
What is it, the reception over there? Obviously, people, like you said, travel and appreciate different artists. Is it smaller venues? Because and you mentioned a storytelling, because I last week saw a known artist at a place called Sid Winery here in the Philadelphia area. And it wasn't a 20,000 seat arena, say, but with that being said, it also gave this artist an opportunity to tell stories, and there was a lot more of an intimate setting, if that makes sense. So what's the environment at these international shows?
So I think if you're an artist at any point in your career, you have to cater your show to the size of the crowd and to the crowd itself, right? So if I'm playing a small venue that has 50 seats, that's a different scenario for me as an artist than playing on a stage with 3,000 people there. And I think no matter what kind of an artist you are, you kind of learn how to scale your show and what you're doing to the audience and to the venue. And I think, in England, they have some music halls, they have some smaller rooms, and you play them all, and you just kind of you just change your show based on where you're playing.
Well, obviously the new EP is Love All In, but what is next for Shantell Ogden?
Yeah, the first thing that is coming is this video that I'm actually working on with the producer later on today. So that's the immediate future, is getting the video for She Loves Horses out. I have some stuff that I'm working on in film and TV. I help other artists get songs into film and TV, and I've got a project that I'm finishing up for that. And I think, as I look towards the holidays, there'll be some time off with family, and then, starting to plan for the spring and what's happening next year. So that's kind of the focus for the rest of the year and into the spring.
Well, make sure you check all the links we'll be providing to see everything on Shantell, hear the music and such. Thank you so much for the time.
I've been going through all my feelings, but I never felt this way before. One eye on the last heartache and one on this open door. I should know, take it slow.
Hey there, Friday fans. We know how much you enjoy the movies. Enjoy grabbing your Friday merchandise and interacting with the Friday family, whether it be at conventions or during our particular watch-alongs. Well, when you're looking to get yourself masks, why not check out our friends over at Camp Blood Customs out of New York State and order your specific custom mask from any of the films. All orders are made specifically. Your needs and wants are. Make sure you find Camp Blood Customs on Facebook, Instagram, and all over social media and order yours today.
Hey you guys, this is Allie Pauline, and you are listening to Crazy Train Radio.